What are we looking for? Dogs.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Bird, and we back on Bird's Eye View with it. Like always, appreciate the love and support. Please continue to like, comment, and subscribe. Stop what you're doing. Smash the like button, smash subscribe button. Hop in the comment section, comment whatever you want. Of course, I'm dropping daily bangers day by day. You know, we got news of the day coming out of Colorado. We're going to jump right into it, dog. So, of course, we back with another recap for this Colorado football program. As always, shout out Well Off Media, Reach the People Media, the pregame show, for providing us phenomenal footage each and every day. Of course, we all know we are coming in 1-2 right now on the season, headed into the Wyoming matchup this weekend. Of course, you know, there's been a lot of rumbles about the start for this Colorado football season, if it's going to impact recruiting. How are some of our commits feeling right now? Obviously, we still have to hold on to these commitments until National Signing Day. I still feel good where we are with each and every one of these young men. I just want to kind of give you a little recap of what I've been seeing according to like their social media pages and how they're still on board with CU. Now, of course, we have 11 commitments so far for that 2026 class, and they've been balling out too, without question. I'm going to start with Gavin Mueller, the 4-star tight end, 6'6", 250 out of Wheaton, Illinois in that 2026 class. He's risen up the rankings without question. I'm not surprised either because his best football was definitely ahead of him because he really just started playing football. He's risen up from a top 30 tight end in the country to the number 7 overall tight end in the country, a top 160 national player. He's a top 10 overall player in the state of Illinois. Of course, size, frame, catching ability immediately stood out on his tape. You know, athletic, not a huge body catcher, a lot of hand catches on tape. You know, a big body tight end with a huge upside. Like I said, he didn't start playing football until his junior year. So last year was his first year of playing football. He primarily focused on basketball and track. Now he's sitting with 25 plus offers. Of course, he committed to this Colorado football program. So far in 2025, I mean, this past week, he had a game where he had 250 all-purpose yards, 5 touchdowns. You'll see the game here on screen. I mean, he is continuing to improve without question. Like I said, just started playing football, so his best football is ahead of him. I mean, he has things that you can't teach, right? 6'11" wingspan, 10-foot broad jump. I mean, he was a section champion in the shot put. Obviously, he chose Colorado over NC State, Arkansas, Ole Miss, Wisconsin, Notre Dame, Texas A&M, just to name a few. Be excited for Gavin Mueller. Let's keep it rolling, dog. Rodney Colton Jr., the 4-star linebacker, 6'1", 220 out of Newman, Georgia in that 2026 class. Of course, a top 15 linebacker in the country, top 25 overall player in Georgia, top 250 national player. We all know about the very physical and athletic linebacker that can finish plays at a very high rate. Of course, he had a ton of schools after the services of this young man. Plays with a lot of energy and effort on tape. Of course, you know, Penn State, Florida State, right? Ole Miss, I mean, Colorado. He had a bunch of schools after the services of him. Of course, we all know he was at the Georgia Tech game this past week. He was on a visit, and of course, I know a lot of people, you know, were speculating and kind of worried about, you know, what is going to end up, you know, with Rodney Colton. He put out a tweet a couple days ago and said, "It's always SkoBuffs." So like I said, you know, a lot of these guys are still locked in on the Buffs regardless of our 1 and 2 start, which we're going to definitely pick up without question, and we're going to move forward and be able to win some ball games. But, you know, we still have a lot of these guys that are still down with Colorado, and it's going to be fun to watch the development continue and be able to, you know, ink these guys in on National Signing Day. Another one, right? 4-star DB Preston Ashley, 5'10", $175 out of Brandon, Mississippi in that 2026 class. Of course, the top 10 player in the state of Mississippi, right? A top 20 safety in the country. I mean, the dynamic, athletic athlete who gets it done on both sides of the football. Of course, this young man here, man, you know, he said, "I'm still rocking with CU as well." He posted a tweet out. Of course, you know, he has offers all over the country as well, pushing 30 offers, right? But, you know, Preston Ashley looks like he is still down with the black and gold. And of course, you know, we have a blueprint with, you know, players wanting to play on both sides of the ball, and he has some ability where, you know, it's a possibility that he could definitely do so as well too. You know, right now it looks like he transitions to be a DB at the next level, but he's dynamic on the offensive side of the ball as well too, and he may get an opportunity to be able to showcase his abilities there as well. Let's keep it rolling, dog, with the commitments here with Xavier Payne, right? Of course, we all know about the offensive tackle, 6'7", 320 out of Orlando, Florida in that 2026 class, was once committed to Florida State. Of course, he's a top 100 offensive tackle in the country, right? He's a 3-star. But he definitely has a 4-star offer list without question. I mean, he's pushing like 35 offers, dog. When you look at Florida State, Syracuse, Arkansas, Florida, Miami, right, Maryland, Nebraska, Ole Miss, Penn State, Tennessee, just to name a few. He's definitely pushing like a 4-star offer list. Of course, this young man, ended up decommitting from that Florida State program and, of course, committing to our Colorado program. And Xavier Payne, he tweeted out, he said, "Rain or shine, it's still SkoBuffs round here." So love to see that there. I mean, he's pretty much, I had already said, he put a tweet out, I believe a month or two ago, saying that his recruitment was shut down. He was all locked in on CU, and we love that from these guys. These guys really want to come in and make a change and be a part of this Colorado football program, and we definitely love that and can't wait to see these young men get on campus. Now, we all know about Christian Ward, right? This is probably my third time making a video on him, right? The 3-star wide receiver, 6'3", $185, out of the state of Georgia, transferred to IMG Academy to finish his senior season, top 80 wide receiver in the country. Of course, he visited this Colorado football program for the Delaware matchup. Now, of course, we got some sound bites from him. He looks like he had a phenomenal time in Boulder without question. And he said, "They're top in my list," Ward said, right? He said it was a good visit. He said he got to see the facilities, spend time with the staff, and just get a feel for what life would be like in Boulder, Colorado. He said the energy around the program is real, and being on campus made that even clearer. He said what excites him the most is a chance to be a part of something special that we're building in Colorado. He said Coach Prime and his staff bring a different kind of intensity and belief, and the idea of being coached at that level and competing with guys who all want to be great really motivates him. So, of course, we love to see that. Again, he said we're at the top of his list. Of course, we got to close, though, right? We've heard that before, right? And we weren't able to close on guys. So we still got to close, right? We always make a great impression on these visits. We just got to close. Now, I will say Ward does have a pretty good offer list. I mean, besides Colorado, he holds offers from the likes of Michigan, Indiana, Alabama, Georgia, Georgia Tech, Texas A&M, South Carolina, just to name a few, right? So, I mean, you're talking some of the best programs in the country is after the services of this young man here. So we're definitely going to have to recruit when it comes to him. But, we're in a good spot right now. I would say we're in a really, really good spot right now to land the pass catcher, again, 6'3", coming out of IMG Academy. And you all know, right, we got that IMG to Boulder pipeline. So, it's going to be fun to continue to track the development of these young men, the recruiting cycle, the ones we already got committed, the ones that are kind of on the fence deciding if they want to commit or not. We can keep tracking it right here on Bird's Eye View, man. But not to keep it long, just want to bring you guys another phenomenal update. Please continue to like, comment, and subscribe. You know what time it is, dog. Bird's Eye View, man.